Hi everyone, welcome to this week's weekly scan, market scan, Mind Money Method. And yeah, well, what a start to the week it has been. And obviously, as we always start off with the dollar index, if we think about what I was speaking about last week, looking at this daily chart, I was saying how obviously the dollar index has been in an uptrend, for a good part of the year, but then we started to see what I was looking at as a bit of indecision, and more than likely anything it was going into what I was saying into a downtrend. And if we look at the technicals of this, we're going uptrend, we're coming back down, and we were still in an uptrend to this point until we broke the low of this last daily chart candle over here. But we needed to see what was going to happen. It then pulled up, so we were in a bit of an uptrend over there, but the market was looking more indecisive to me, because if we go and look at the weekly chart over here, you'll recall on my recording last week how I was seeing the market as indecisive, that it could have gone anything, but it was bearing on to more of the bearish side. Well, we've had some major strong sell-off today. As the open of today's markets, if we actually look at this over here on the daily chart, and we just look at the way we've had some big sell-off all the way through down today. Now, what are we looking at? I mean, this has come to a point over here where it's now almost like a level of support. But I can only see the market, the dollar index, being pretty bearish to me at this point in time. I mean, obviously, we've had some very strong sell-off. It's looking very bearish. What am I seeing? Well, the indicators are looking, the multiple charts and the time frames are in agreement on a bearish. So we've changed from an indecisive kind of bearish chart last week to definitely looking at on the bearish side. And we've had some strong sell-off. Now, if we go and look at this, we'll see this across the board. I mean, if we go to US dollar, you'll see it once again, US dollar to the Japanese yen, how the US dollar is weakened against the Japanese yen. A lot of this is down to, China, and I mentioned that in last week. A lot of it is down to China and how they have started devaluing their currency, and that's caused a lot of alarm bells in the global market, especially at the point that the Fed may be raising their interest rates, and this is causing a lot of reaction in the market. So once again, these are the fundamentals. We don't look a lot of it, but we do when there's big announcements and there's big action taking place, like China devaluing their currency, which in essence is bringing in, as I can see it, deflation into the world, into the global economy on a deflation basis, and deflation is no good. We'll rather go for the inflation than deflation. So if you're an economist and you're looking and you're hearing all of this, well, people are selling off. You've looked at it, as I've said. I mean, if we go and look at another currency now, well, I mean, this is the Kiwi dollar to the US dollar. You could see it fell, but it's come right back. So it kind of goes in accordance with the US dollar weakening a lot, but the Kiwi dollar has been quite weak against most currencies, as you've probably go and see on all my videos that I've made, as I've shown you. I mean, we were in a trade on the Kiwi US dollar, made some decent cash out of that a few weeks back. But if we go and look at the British pound to the US dollar, well, British pound strengthened against the US dollar. It's been on an uptrend, kind of coming out of this level over here, if you want to call it, of a level of indecision taking place. It's a bit broken out of the market, but we've come right back down. It's once again, last week I said it's more an indecisive chart across the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. I'm sticking to that. It's not a chart that is floating my boat in any way, shape, or form. If we go look at the British pound, I mean, look at the sell-off. British pound to the Japanese yen sold off big time. I mean, we've had some huge drops today. How do I see this? Well, there's still scope for the British pound to weaken further against the Japanese yen. And, all as I'm seeing a lot now, funny enough, the Europeans, the euro has been strengthening. I mean, if we look at, well, let's just go look at this euro to the Japanese pound, the British pound. The euro strengthened quite nicely against the British pound. So I mean, the British pound, the US dollars, it's got a bit of a hit as of late. If we go and look at something else, let's go just where this was here, the Australian dollar to the Japanese yen. So a lot of currencies have been losing a lot against the Japanese yen. There's no doubt about that. If we go to look at the Swiss franc, you know, this over here, the Swiss francs had a bit of a sell-off. So the markets are looking quite bearish across a lot of the charts. So it's really, if I was going to be looking at anything this week, especially into my further for any trade setups, I'm going to be looking across a lot of the currencies more to the bearish side than anything else. A lot of the markets is looking bearish, so I will be looking to place trades on down to the downside, the bearish side, the downside, so a downtrend. So, you know, when we say bearish, we're meaning to the downside or a downtrend. And I'll be looking for opportunities even on lower time frames, even up to the 1 hour, the 60, the 240, the 480 time frames. And I'll be looking for entries in the markets for pullbacks to certain levels, key levels, big numbers, and off there continuing on their bearish run. That's what I'll be looking at. I mean, if we go look here to end off on the FTSE, let's go to the FTSE 100. I mean, look at this fall today. We started off and off we went. I mean, we've now broken down the 6,000 mark. So if I kind of minimize this over here, you know, I can only see this potentially pulling back around to the 6,000 or even up to 6,100 and probably furthermore to then sell off. So once again, if we're looking at the FTSE 100 as a trading plan, I will be waiting to see for a pullback to the 6,100 mark, or maybe not even so much, so even around the 6,000, and then with that, potentially, obviously, putting in orders to then carry on with a sell-off. Having said that, yes, price is a long way from the moving averages, but I would expect the moving averages to catch up to the price. So overall, my sentiment right now across the board on a lot of the time frames, with the British pound, the US dollar, you know, that they are looking bearish. So I'm going to be looking at these markets and I'm going to be looking for entry points to the downside because the market is looking very bearish. The technicals is telling me this across multiple time frames, and I'm going to be sticking with my technicals. I understand what's going on with China. I understand what's going on with in the European markets, with Greece still, with the Greece Prime Minister being resigned. Yes, these are all big news announcements, but I listen to it. I look for big news announcements on Mind Money Method on the economic calendar to see, and I will not place trades around those big news announcements. I'll be aware of them, but my overall sentiment and my overall, you know, looking at the markets is going to be based on the technicals. What am I seeing across multiple time frames? And if I'm looking across multiple time frames, using once again the FTSE as an example, going back to the dollar index for an example, we are looking very bearish. I mean, we go to the dollar index just to end this off. You know, we've come to a level over here. I'm expecting the dollar to continue on its downfall, and who knows where we're going to go with this. But I would continue and would think that we are looking, technically, the indicators, price movement is looking very bearish across multiple currencies, multiple time frames, and my sentiment is looking to get onto the downtrend and to get myself in on the markets. So that's my view on this for this week. Folks, happy trading, and once again, if you are interested to hear or come onto our courses where we can show you how to make the money, all you need to do is go and have a look at our trader development videos that we've created, showing you some of the trades we have entered and that we've been in for 2 and sometimes 3 weeks at a time, and have been making some serious money over the last few months, no doubt about that. So if you are interested in hearing more, go and look at our products and services, and sign up for one of our courses. If you want to know any more questions, of course, get in touch with us, you know, at info@mindmoneymethod.com, and we'll get back to you. I mean, we've taken on lots of questions, and we'll be happy to speak to you, happy to even have a Skype chat with you, and to show you how we can help you. So that's it for me. Perry Sophis, Mind Money Method head trader, and I wish you all the best and have a fantastic week trading. Once again, markets are looking quite bearish, so lots of opportunities out there for you, no doubt about that. And happy trading, everyone. Have a great week.